Hello, welcome to a quick camera chat. Some people are interested in my little setup for my road trip and my cameras that I brought. And so I'm going to talk about this camera just briefly. It is a 35 millimeter Pentax Spotmatic. It's a film camera. You have to load film cartridges into it for those of you who've only had digital before. Anyway, it's a SLR, which means you can change the lens. This particular camera, this Pentax Spotmatic, they came out in 1964, I think. I might be wrong. But this one I think is from the 60s. It is the first major 35 millimeter camera that has a through the lens metering system built in up here. So meaning that the light that's coming through the lens is being measured by the camera, and you see the little needle going around in the viewfinder to tell you when your shutter speed and your apertures are correct. That uses a battery, and you can use the camera without it. You don't have to have a battery, but you won't have the meter. So that's all right. Lots of times, I guess, when my batteries go dead or I'm too cheap to buy one. So anyway, what else do I have to say about this? It's oh, the noise it makes. I mentioned that in the video. Oh, we gotta take this off. You heard that, yeah, chunk. It's got this big mirror, and what the mirror's for is the image comes through the lens, gets reflected off the mirror up into the viewfinder, so you can see what you're focusing on. And but that mirror needs to get out of the way when you expose the film. So listen to that. That's the mirror getting out of the way. Maybe you can see it. Kinda. Anyway, that's the Pentax Spotmatic. I'm probably forgetting all kinds of stuff about it, but you get the general gist. Another thing that I bring on all of my road trips, and I didn't really talk about it, but there was a picture in there, the Pintoid camera. And these are basically pinhole cameras made from Altoid containers, and I call them Pintoids. A pinhole camera is lensless. It's lensless photography, pinhole photography. You can Google it, and you'll find all kinds of better information on the internet. I do have a pinhole Pintoid page on my other website, which is junkstorecameras.com. So check that out if you want to. But what it is, I take the tin, paint the inside black. I do load it with film. We'll get to that in a second. But it's I drill a hole in it and then make a tinier hole with foil and a needle. Put that in here. The tape covers the hole. That's my shutter. Right here is the tape, so that's how long the exposure is. And it's a pretty long exposure depending on the light, but it's a long exposure, believe me. So what I'll do is I'll cut little strips of film, and I put the film across here and tape it in. Close that up, and I can take a picture, and I can only take one picture at a time. And so it needs to be reloaded every time. What I have here, what I take with me is, some people call it a changing bag. I call it a dark bag because a changing bag to me sounds like something you'd bring with your baby. So anyway, inside of here, it's got a zipper right here, and you fill it up. Trying to make sure you can see. You fill it full of your stuff, which means the empty camera or full, whatever, depends on if you're taking film out or putting it in. You'll have film inside the bag. There's little scissors and tape. And I'll sit there at a campsite, put my arms in the in the little sleevey things, they have elastic around them so that the light doesn't come in. And I'll sit there and I will load and unload cameras and be stuck like this. And sometimes there's mosquitoes and my hands get sweaty and all that, but you know what? There are other problems in this world. So there it is. Here is like a tiny one. I call it a spy cam, which is kind of appropriate for this adventure. So I end up with all these little strips of film. I come home and I process them, and that was kind of bad. But anyway, I come home and I process them, and I make these crazy, kind of warpy pinhole pictures. So people ask about the car all the time. So this is the car, my road trip buddy. It's got 400,000 miles on it. I've had it for 20 years, almost. And it's all-wheel drive. And it's got this cool mod where the seats swivel around, but I didn't do that right now. Anyway, it's neat. It's got a whole big living room in the back, practically. You go in here, and you can sleep up here. It's great. Pretty fun.